Hello Capricorn, this is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts with your reading for the second half of April from the 16th all the way through the 30th. General as always, it won't resonate with every single person. Please do take from it what makes sense for you and release the rest. If you are interested in your own reading, that information is down below in the description box, and I'll include a link to the decks and creators that you do see here today. Capricorn, and as always, cross watchers are welcome. So I'm going to be time-stamping these down below since I'll be dividing up the readings, first focusing on the Divine Masculine, and then we'll go ahead and take some cards and messages for the Divine Feminine. Okay, so let's begin. And typically I do the Love and Life series. This time around I am doing readings focused on the songs in the key of love, which is inspired by my two decks, the Heart Songs decks. So musical messages for this love connection, starting things off with the masculine. All right, so Heart Songs, and then we'll go ahead and grab a card or two from the Real Talk with Him Words of Wisdom deck. All right, let's begin. Songs in the Key of Love. This is the Volume 1 version. So I might grab one or two songs here. We'll see. I'm guided to this one. If I'm Not in Love with You. This is a song by Faith Hill. If I don't need your touch, why do I miss you so much tonight? If it's just infatuation, why is my heart aching to hold you forever? Give a part of me I thought I'd never give again to someone I could lose. So, we might actually have a feminine here questioning the masculine. If I don't need your touch, why do I miss you so much? So this is already an indication that you guys are more than likely not together at this point in time. All right, I'm guided to this one. Love on the Brain, Rihanna. So obviously both of these songs are by female artists here. So this card says, baby, I'm fist fighting with fire just to get close to you. Can we burn something, babe? And I run for miles just to get a taste. Must be love on the brain that's got me feeling this way. It beats me black and blue, but it fucks me so good and I can't get enough. So, my feminine's watching for a masculine. This could be how you're feeling. You might have a masculine who's questioning where you're at in your heart. And you're wanting them to know. It's like, look, I can't get enough of you. If I'm not in love with you, why am I feeling this way? Okay, so those are the songs that's coming through here. All right, so let's grab a couple of messages from this deck. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Capricorn, focusing on the Divine Masculine. All right, I'm guided to this one. When you're not here with me, I smell your perfume lingering in the air, making me want you more and more until I can hold you, touch you, kiss you, make love to you. Hurry back. Whoa. So it seems we might have a masculine who is in this energy wanting the feminine, missing the feminine, desiring the feminine. So maybe you guys are on the same page, but for some of you, I just feel you're not together. Let's grab one more. Second chances can only happen if we both want to try again. Are you with me? So these messages are from the Divine Masculine. So if you're feminine watching, this is where they're at. They can want a second chance with you. But if you're not on the same page, which I do feel you are, I do feel you guys are on the same page. You do have the same vision as to what it is that you're wanting. So again, confirmation and an indication that you guys are not together because they want a second chance. And it can only happen if you're both wanting this. All right. So let's go ahead and set these guys aside and let's see what else needs to come through. So I'm going to pull messages from my Silhouettes deck here, focusing on the Divine Masculine. All right, so let's see. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Capricorn, focusing on the divine masculine. We have fly away. The only limits are the ones you place upon yourself. So what I get from this and the meaning behind this card is that you shouldn't stay in situations where you're not happy. You shouldn't feel restricted or limited in any way. So if the masculine, for example, was feeling that maybe at the time that you guys were together, they didn't appreciate the connection or they weren't ready to commit. Maybe at that point in time, my feminines, they weren't on the same page as you. But I feel it took separation and distance for them to finally get it. Makes sense to me because look at the next message. We have sight. This card says sometimes we don't see what we need to see until after it's gone. And that's exactly what I'm feeling here for some of you guys. Look at this next card. We've got toxic, poison, know when to walk away. There you go. Now, these two messages together could also be a masculine who walked away from a toxic situation with somebody and falling in love with perhaps you, the viewer, if you're feminine tuning in. Which I'm assuming you do represent the feminine energy. And then we've got tranquility. In a world of uncertainty and chaos, you are my peace. So this could have been the chaos right here, my feminines, when it comes to your divine masculine. You represent that peace. You represent the tranquility and the serenity in their life. So either they've already walked away from someone who was toxic for them, or this is something that they're in and they need to get out of it, which is why perhaps you represent this peace. And that's something that they're striving for, is to walk away and to get away from this situation. Rendezvous. I need to see you. Let's meet up sometime. You see, they want to see you. So you, the viewer, divine feminine, watching for a masculine, this is your masculine letting you know, I want to see you. I need to see you. And they now have perhaps the opportunity to realize that maybe they took you for granted. Maybe they didn't appreciate you when you guys were together. And for some of you guys, maybe this masculine, because they didn't see what they had when they had it, entered into this toxic situation with someone else. And perhaps they were miserable and unhappy in this relationship. And they need to get out. So if they haven't gotten out yet, that's something that needs to be their priority. If they have, and if this is a past energy, and they're perhaps available or single and wanting to reconnect with you, my feminines, for whatever reason, if you guys are not together right now, they're clearly indicating here that they want to meet up. We've got color lines. True love has no barrier, which is true. Some of you might be of different backgrounds, different ethnicities. There could be an age gap for some of you. Religious differences there. You know, maybe families didn't get along or the family didn't approve of your relationship. There were some barriers here that maybe prevented you guys from being together. Take that only if it makes sense. And then we've got the summertime reflected here as well. Now, for some of you, maybe your person could be a Gemini, a Cancer, Leo, or Virgo. This represents illuminated paths right here. Perhaps giving the masculine the opportunity to see a different direction that they need to go to be able to have this reunion or to go in a different direction to be with the feminine. Bottom of the deck, we've got fifth dimension. When our 3D world is spiraling out of control, here is where chaos cannot touch us. Here is where we can just be. Okay? So for those of you who are not together currently, you guys are connecting energetically, spiritually, telepathically perhaps in the 5D. And again, you represent the peace that perhaps is lacking in this masculine's life. Let's grab some additional cards. So I'm going to go ahead and pull from my Heart and Soul Love Oracle deck. Angels and Spirit Guides, please, for Capricorn, focusing on the Divine Masculine. Let's see. We have vows. Promises are made all the time. There's so much power behind the words we speak when we make promises, and it sometimes makes a person wonder why they often get broken. Let's not break ours. So if you guys have made promises or vows to each other, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you guys were married before, although for some of you that could be the case, but this masculine is clearly wanting that second chance. And they want you back. Look at this. We have cleanse. We have sever. So remember what I was saying about the masculine needing to get out of this toxic situation. So perhaps they're in the process of doing that, or they've already done that. Cleanse. Mistakes in love. It's a part of growing, living, loving. We don't always make the best decisions. We cross boundaries and go after those that are not meant for us or are good for us. We got our hands dirty through gained wisdom, time, and owning up to those mistakes. We create change. And maybe this masculine has finally cleansed themselves of any toxic situation. And then we've got sever right next to it. There comes a point when you know in your heart of hearts it's over. There's nothing more to say, nothing more to do. That doesn't make it any easier to let go. No one can rush you to detach, but the day will come when it won't be so hard. Okay? So this is what's coming through for the masculine, that they have severed ties with somebody that they were in a relationship with because it was toxic, it wasn't healthy, it was not good. And then we've got nostalgia here. So one situation I feel needed to come to an end, but in the meantime, there are two people here who are unable to be together. And this masculine clearly feeling nostalgic and missing the feminine. And this card does say, I miss you right there. For some of you, it's been years since you've seen each other. So it does say it's been years, yet it feels like it was yesterday. I thought that time would make this easier on me, my heart, my mind. I wish I could turn back time to undo the damage that was done, make different choices, but I can't. We can't. All we have are our memories. So those happy memories that you guys have shared together. Times in the past when things were good. But as you can see here, rendezvous, I need to see you. Let's meet up sometime. They want a second chance to be able to reach out, to interact, to talk, and to see you. We have more. I was sure what we had wasn't the love I was looking for. That it was something that I could find with someone else who could offer me more. And maybe that more, whoever this was, turned into a toxic situation. Because they felt that they could find someone perhaps better than what you guys had. And that could have resulted in the separation and distance. That it was something that I could find with someone else who could offer me more. More love, more sex, more of everything I was looking for. Someone who had more, wanted me more, needed me more. Now there's nothing more I want than to come back to the someone who had it all to begin with. You. Is it too late? This is what the masculine wants the feminine to know and understand. Is it too late for us to have a second chance? Are you with me? The masculine can't make this happen by themselves. They need the feminine to be on the same page. We have rhythm. So there could be something about music that you guys have in common, or maybe we have a masculine here who really loves music. This always reminds me of a DJ here. So maybe someone's a DJ. So this card says, we have so much chaos going on throughout the world. There's that word again that's coming through, chaos. And my feminines, you represent the peace in their world of chaos. I have to tune it out when it gets to be too much. Before I know it, I'm in my own little world where it's just me, my thoughts, my music, and songs that uplift me. Songs that calm me, you see? They need that peace. And maybe particular songs that remind them of you. Because it's about us, you are the rhythm in my heart. You are the rhythm. You are the peace in their heart. So for the feminines watching for this divine masculine, you represent that serenity, that tranquility. And then we have, again, you see, I've never desired anyone as much as I want you. I can't stop myself from thinking about your kiss. The way you touch me, make love to me. I can feel you with me even when you're not near. I know you want me just as much. Let's make this a reality again. Can you make it a reality again? Absolutely. But you guys have to be on board together. You both have to want this together. Okay? So let's go ahead and grab some tarot messages here. Let's clarify some of this stuff when it comes to this connection. All right, so it does appear that the masculine is wanting a second chance, but in the meantime, you guys are connecting in the 5D. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab some tarot. Let's go ahead and focus on messages from the Sacred Secrets of the Heart Tarot by Jennifer Aquarius Tarot. Angels and spirit guides, please. Focusing on the divine masculine. Capricorn. What are the messages here? Justice. Look at that. Truths exposed. The truth always comes out. There's a need for balance here between the masculine and the feminine. There's a very strong soul bond. There is a soul contract between two people. And maybe for some of you, the masculine is entangled in some sort of legal matters. But there's a chance that if that is the case, things will fall in their favor. The Justice card, it's all about the truth. Truth and integrity. And maybe in that toxic situation, that's not what was happening. I feel the masculine has a connection with someone that they are very attracted to, because the Justice card can represent an emotionally and intellectually stimulating connection between two people. You guys connect on an emotional level as well as an intellectual level. You guys have great conversations together. And then we've got the Magician. Manifesting visions here, okay? Manifesting your ideal mate, your partner, your soulmate. For some of you, your twin flame. We've got some regrets. Someone who's lonely, someone who's sad. We are focusing on the divine masculine here, so I feel they're lonely without the feminine. Regrets perhaps over wasting time and other connections that they knew it was just not meant to withstand the test of time. But this could also be picking up off of a masculine who is feeling the loss of a feminine that they want to be with. Look at this. Four of Wands. The foundation that you guys can build together. This is a twin flame card. 1111. If you happen to be seeing that number or that time, pay attention to that. It's trying to grab your attention. This is being able to provide a happy home, a happy life, a happy relationship, a fulfilled, content, happy marriage. A relationship that is peaceful, not chaotic. There's a celebration here. Could be a wedding for some of you, or a happy reunion. Some of you guys might be dealing with a Virgo here. We've got the Hermit card. This is a card of wisdom and introspection, going within. Perhaps this masculine needs some downtime, just to be able to have solitude, be alone, to still their mind, to refocus, to regroup. The Hermit energy is also about bridging estrangements between two people. So I do feel that there is a reunion that's possible. And then we've got the 10 of Pentacles. So more earth energy right there. Virgo, once again. Capricorn, of course, that's you. Taurus. Money looks good. Your money matters, your finances. So if you've been struggling in that area, perhaps things will improve. One of my favorite cards in tarot when it comes to love and romance, because this could be a very strong bond, which we've already determined that. Stability, security in a relationship, which is definitely tied into the Four of Wands and that foundation. But again, remember, you guys have to be both in for this second chance to happen. Because this person, and you know who it is that you're focused on for this reading, could be your perfect match here. And you might either send this love message or receive a message. So my feminines tuning in, watching for a divine masculine, it could be you that receives this love message from this divine masculine. They miss you. They think of you. They want you back. All right. So let's go ahead and see some additional messages. I'm going to go ahead and pull from the Twin Flame Angel Numbers deck by Mystic Moon. Let's go ahead and see what the messages are here. Angels and spirit guides, please. Focusing on the divine masculine for Capricorn. Three. Past, present, and future energies need examining. What do you truly want moving forward? And I feel that is why we've got this Hermit energy right here. Because maybe you both need to be in this vibe of introspection to really figure things out for yourselves. Focus on where you guys have been in order to see where you're at now and to be able to create a particular future that is worthy of your time, of your energy, of this connection. Because if you guys are on the same page, wanting the same things, then it's just a matter of time before you guys take things out of the 5D and back into the 3D world. $660. You do not have to compromise your own integrity to get what you want. Assert yourself accordingly. So remember how you guys have the Justice card here. Truth and integrity. You don't have to compromise. And when it comes to this masculine, perhaps that's something that they have been needing to work through. They need to be able to assert themselves in a situation, certainly when it comes to this connection. Maybe this is what the masculine needs as well. 7111. Triggers brought on by your counterpart are necessary for the healing of past wounds and traumas. So there's healing here that this masculine needs to focus on in the meantime. Look at this. 55. There's a lot of these numbers that I feel are specific to this divine masculine. Reserve your right to say no. Enabling toxic behavior serves no one in the end. Absolutely. Which is why they had to sever ties and cleanse things out of their life that's no longer working. Getting out of this toxic situation. So I feel because they've had clarity as a result of being able to see things clearer. They've been able to work through that, to be able to say no to people who are toxic to them. And bottom of the deck, we've got 8338. You and your twin flame are mirroring each other's thoughts at this present time. So if you know that your person is a twin flame, this is where you guys are at right now. You're mirroring each other. This is a very special soul connection. And right from the very beginning, it's been determined that you guys more than likely are on the same page. Wow. So if any of those numbers are trying to grab your attention, pay attention to that. Okay. So wrapping things up here, when it comes to the divine masculine, I'm going to pull a card from the Universal Heart Oracle by Angelic Revelation 144. Let's grab one final bit of advice for the masculine here. Angels and spirit guides, please, for the divine masculine, Capricorn. Final advice. Spirit wants you to know that there is an incredible surprise coming your way shortly. This surprise leads to a favorable time in love and life. Remember to take time out from your hectic schedule periodically to reset your energy. This will ensure that you are rested and rejuvenated and can cope with the demands of life. Perfect advice for this divine masculine because I really feel it's needed. Okay, so that's what's coming through here for those of you watching for the divine masculine. And let's go ahead and take a look at the divine feminine to see if it's melding together with this storyline or if it's a completely different message. We'll have to take a look at that. So hopefully whatever part of this made sense for you helps you out. All right, so let's move on to the divine feminine. All right, Capricorn, so let's go ahead and take a look at the divine feminine here. So we're going to start with the Heart Songs of the 90s deck, grabbing perhaps the same amount of songs here, one or two. And we'll go ahead and grab some cards from the Real Talk with Her Words of Wisdom deck. All right, so very similar start to how we did the divine masculine. So let's take a look and see where the feminine is at. All right, here we go. I'm guided to this one, if I can grab it. We have Emotions by Mariah Carey. I feel good. I feel nice. I've never felt so satisfied. I'm in love. I'm alive. Intoxicated, flying high. It feels like a dream when you touch me tenderly. I don't know if it's real, but I like the way I feel inside. All right, so you're all up in your emotions, my feminines, or whoever is watching this on behalf of the feminine. Okay, filled with emotions, filled with love. Let's go ahead and grab one more song. You Were Meant for Me by Jewel. Dreams last so long even after you're gone. I know that you love me and soon you will see you were meant for me and I was meant for you. All right, so there's this reference to someone, namely the masculine, who is gone, who is not a part of the feminine's life right now. So in a way, the messages that came forward from the divine masculine reading, it's kind of tying into this one. We'll see if the rest of the reading, continues on that path. But there's an indication here for some of you anyway that you're not with your person. All right, so let's go ahead and add to that. Let's grab a couple cards from this deck. Angels and spirit guides, please, focusing on Capricorn on behalf of the divine feminine here. All right, what are the messages? I'm guided to this one. Hurt people hurt people. Okay, so if the divine masculine ended up hurting the feminine here, the feminine is acknowledging that and is aware of that. Or it could be reversed for some of you. It could have been the feminine who ended up hurting the masculine. Okay, but basically what this is about is it's someone who was hurt by someone else. They didn't take the time to heal from that, and therefore ended up getting into another relationship, possibly with the divine feminine, and ended up hurting the feminine. That's what's coming through there. Let's grab another message. If the work is not done, the shadows will remain. Okay? So basically, this is talking about shadow work that needs to be done. Whether the feminine was on the receiving end of being hurt by the masculine, or again, it could be the other way around. There's someone here who needs to be able to take the time to do that shadow work. But, possibly for some of you, it could have been the masculine because there was that toxic situation in the first portion of this reading that they weren't in. So either they're still in it and they need to work through getting out of it, or they're taking the time to actually finally heal from this. So at the end of the day, if the work is not done, those shadows that are overwhelming that person, whether masculine or feminine, it's going to continue to be a problem. It's going to continue to resurface until it is addressed. All right. So let's set these guys aside and let's go ahead and see what else needs to come through here for the divine feminine. So I'm going to go ahead and once again pull from my silhouettes deck here. Capricorn for the divine feminine. What else do we need to know? Angels and spirit guides, please, for Capricorn, for the feminine. So parts of this reading could certainly tie into the first portion with the divine masculine, or parts of it could just be painting a very different storyline for some of you. So as always, take what makes sense. We have glitter. You leave a trail of sparkle wherever you go. And basically, for the divine feminine, that is the effect that you have on people. Whether it is the masculine, whether it is friends, family, associates, people that you encounter. It's almost like you've got this very magnetic personality and you attract that sparkle. That is the type of energy that you walk into a room with. And you uplift people, you make people happy. That could have been the effect that this feminine had on the masculine. But maybe they didn't appreciate it when they had it. We have listen. Talking is not enough if we see right through each other without actually hearing what we're saying. And that's very important, is to have productive conversations. Because it's important, of course, to get your point across and whatever it is that you need to say. But it's also really important to listen to what is being said to you. And as long as you guys can both actually listen to one another and take it all in, then that can be very healing in and of itself in that conversation. We have complicated. You and I, we're a complex duo. This love story hasn't been easy. Ups, downs, challenges, obstacles to overcome. But you and I together, we can get through it all. And that is the key. As long as you guys work together. Because it doesn't just fall on one person's shoulder to be able to fix this. We've got beacon of hope. When you fail to see the light at the end of the tunnel, Look for me. I will be there. So it could even be this feminine saying this to the masculine. Even though things are complicated, maybe there's still hope that you guys can work this out. Going back to the song, you were meant for me. I was meant for you. But if there's healing that needs to happen here, then that takes precedence over anything else. We've got possibilities. As long as you realize there are no limits, it is truly endless. So go live your best life today. So that's the advice for both the feminine as well as the masculine, to be able to live your best life individually and possibly together. And then we've got time travel. Those moments when I miss you so much, I allow myself to fantasize about the impossible. So perhaps the feminine is fantasizing about being with the masculine. Obviously, time travel is an impossible thing to do. We can't travel back in time and fix things and undo the damage in that way. It starts with healing. It starts with a conversation, being able to listen to each other. Healing. That's the bottom line. If the work is not done, the shadows will remain. And the feminine is very aware of this. And then we have stillness. When we're surrounded by life's overwhelming demands on our time, our space, our obligations, our relationships, sometimes all you need is a minute to catch your breath, to find yourself again. So maybe my feminines, for those of you who resonate with that, you just need some downtime. You need stillness. You need alone time. Some quiet time to yourself for healing, for introspection, for contemplation, meditation, whatever it is that you need to de-stress, do that. Yeah, that's much needed. Okay, so let's add to this. Go ahead and pull some messages from my Heart and Soul Love Oracle deck. And I'm losing my voice, sorry. Too much talking today. All right, guys, let's see. For the Divine Feminine, Capricorn. What additional advice? For some feminines, you guys are choosing to move on. Okay? Maybe it's too complicated for you. Or maybe part of why you are moving on is to de-stress and just have some downtime. To be in solitude for a good minute. And maybe you're just really hurt right now. And you need to heal, maybe on your own. Or this could also mean, for some of my Divine Feminines, you're actually doing that shadow work on yourself. So that you can come forward towards your masculine as a better person, a better version of yourself. So this card says, I've had so much to think about lately. Where I've been, where I am, and where I want to be. I know the road I've traveled. It hasn't been easy, but it hasn't been... Sorry, I can't read today. It hasn't been easy, but it hasn't broken me. I never thought I'd be traveling this road without you. It was always you and I. If our paths are meant to cross again, we will. For now, I have to move on. Okay? So, for some of my Divine Feminines, perhaps you're just kind of going your own way. You're trusting that whatever the future has in store for you and your masculine, if it's meant to be again, it will. This makes sense for me. The future. The future. I've always pictured you to be a part of mine. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that things could have gone so wrong between us. Our deep bond has been ripped into shreds by deception, third parties, and trust issues. So take that only if it makes sense, of course. My future. I don't know what it holds, but now I know you won't be a part of it. Okay? So that's part of the reason why the divine feminine, for some of you guys that resonate with this, why you're choosing to move on. Perhaps going back to the messages that came forward from the divine masculine, there was that toxic situation. And if the masculine failed to recognize that it could have been you, the divine feminine, that recognized the toxicity and detached and moved on. You know, going back to this, hurt people, and perhaps the masculine not doing the shadow work. If the work is not done, the shadows will remain, and therefore for some of my feminines, choosing to do the work on your own. We have beauty. So there's some heavy stuff coming through here for the divine feminine. And even though we don't have a toxic card coming through here, some of you guys have definitely encountered relationships where you were deeply hurt by people and how they treated you, which is why this card is coming through here so prominently. So parts of this perhaps are a totally different storyline aside from what came through for the divine masculine, but there are also parts of it that do tie in together. So, you know, piece together what parts of the story make sense. So we've got beauty here, and it does say, I am invisible to you. I blend into the darkness of the night sky. No matter what I do to share my light with you, you choose to dim it by pushing me away, ignoring me, never giving me the time of day. You're too busy mingling with the so-called beautiful ones. If you only knew the beauty within me that you are failing to recognize. If only. So, for some of my divine feminines, you are choosing to see the beauty within yourself. Because some of you guys were dealing with a masculine who failed to see it. So you saw it for yourself. We have faith. Life has a way of bringing us to our knees when we lose faith in a situation, in someone, in ourselves. The most heartfelt prayers are born from those moments of heartache, desperation, and hope. So if you're one to turn towards prayer, and if these messages make sense for you, know that there is hope. It's right here. There's that beacon of hope right there. And for some of you, perhaps, if you represent the divine feminine, you represent that light within yourself. Your prayers have been heard, and your prayers will be answered in the way that they are meant to. We also have the best. I never expected us to be the best of friends so quickly, almost as if we've known each other before, and just when I started to get used to you being my best friend, you became my best love. I have a feeling the best is yet to come. So this could either represent a past love that you are either detached from, or a future love that you end up connecting with as a result of taking matters into your own hands by moving on, claiming a different future for yourself, and finding that ideal mate that perhaps someone else could not be. Because they were broken. They were hurt by someone else, and therefore the only capacity that they had towards love when it came to you is to hurt you as well. So it does make sense for me that some feminines have decided to detach and to move on, to find the love that you are absolutely 100% deserving of. That's what these possibilities are all about. And again, lastly, we've got insignificant. So we have someone here, because going back to this message of beauty, I am invisible to you. You made me feel insignificant. And therefore, you made yourself your priority. So if that makes sense for you, and if you represent the divine feminine here, good for you. So let me go ahead and read this. I feel so insignificant, so small. You treated me like an afterthought, like I didn't matter, always putting me last on your priority list. I feel like I'm being sucked into this never-ending abyss of darkness and sadness. You've knocked me down for the last time. No one will ever make me feel this small ever again. Okay? So there are parts to these messages that are very challenging. So going back to the masculine messages, there was that toxic card that came through. So for some of you, perhaps there was a toxic masculine that you decided to move on from, and finding a love first for yourself, making way for a love to find you elsewhere, a love that is deserving of you. And perhaps by moving on, by focusing on a different future for yourself, where the best is yet to come for you, not allowing anyone to mistreat you or to hurt you ever again, it could take you here. We have chosen. You are the one that I want to walk through my days and nights with, the one that occupies every second of my everyday. Please hold my hand forever and never let me go. So there are certain scenarios here and how this could all play out, because sometimes two people have to go into separation in order to find their way back together. That could be for some of you. For others, it's a divine feminine who decided to go in a different direction, and that's what will lead the feminine here towards a beautiful kind of love connection where this person chooses you, you choose them, you make each other's dreams come true, you love each other, where you can experience all of the beautiful, amazing things that life and love have to offer you. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab some tarot here. So if you resonate with some of those heavy messages, you can heal from it. But for some of you, you can't expect your masculine to help you heal it. That's something that you're going to have to focus on for yourself. Put yourself on your own priority list if you haven't already. All right, so let's grab some tarot here. I'm going to pull from the Sacred Secrets of the Heart Tarot by Jennifer Aquarius Tarot. Angels and spirit guides, please. For Capricorn, for the divine feminine here. Choosing to move on away from people that have hurt the feminine. And you know, going back to the Mariah Carey song, I feel good, I feel nice, I've never felt so satisfied, I'm in love, I'm alive, intoxicated, flying high. Okay, parts of that for me, for some of you, it represents the fact that you feel good because you finally feel alive on your own. Away from toxic situations, away from people that are weighing you down. And you're meant to find that love perhaps elsewhere in a different direction. You can have your dream manifest. But sometimes our dreams happen in a very different way from how we originally envisioned them. Yeah, you've been through one hell of a battle. Look at that, 9 of Wands. And sometimes, you know, you got to just stop fighting for someone that isn't worth fighting for. We've got the Judgment card right here, an awakening. So for the feminine, I feel this is something that you need to definitely be a part of that awakening journey for yourself. And I refer to the Judgment card as an alarm clock. It's like a wake-up call. And you got to pay attention. You got to listen to that alarm because it's cautioning you. It's warning you perhaps to learn from the past and what didn't work in the past. And sometimes when you decide to take matters in your own hands and to move on and create a beautiful future for yourself, it wakes other people up. it could wake up a particular masculine that you needed to detach from because they could have just not been very good for you at that time. So if they've actually worked on themselves and did the shadow work that can help them heal themselves, then they can come towards you as a better version of themselves, you know? Because part of the message from the Judgment card is somebody who reevaluates their past and learns from it. And if your masculine has learned from it, Divine Feminine, they might just want to come towards you with an apology, wanting forgiveness, wanting a reunion. Some of you will want it and some of you will not. Because you might have found someone way better suited for you. The universe could have directed you onto a different path by then. So yeah, there's a possibility for a reconciliation, but it comes down to timing. Because some of you guys might not even want it at that point. What else, please, for the Divine Feminine for Capricorn? 8 of Wands, speedy travel. You're ready to go. Very good energy from the 8 of Wands. Some of you guys might even connect with a fire sign here. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. So the 8 of Wands is all about rapid action and movement. Movement. Moving on. Taking control of your life. The 8 of Wands can sometimes be referred to as the arrows of love. So you're not going to be single for long. You're meant to find that love. You're meant to attract that ideal mate. Somebody who's really into you. Someone who's not going to get you into a toxic situation. So this 4 of Swords makes sense for me because it's about healing, which is so needed. Healing from this. Healing from these wounds of the past. Causing you to feel insignificant, to feel unworthy. Because you're worth every bit of who you are as a person. And I love how this is a song by Jewel. You are a gem. You are a jewel. You need to recognize the value that you possess within yourself. The right kind of partner will be just as equally invested as you are. The 6 of Pentacles. This is your own earth energy, Capricorn. So for the Divine Feminine, what you're wanting is to attract a partner who will give and receive just as much as you're willing to give and receive. Equal generosity is what it's all about. So you can still manifest that wish that you have in your heart. Finding that love, finding that ideal mate. You know? For some of you, it could even be a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Emotional stability. Just be mindful of people that do approach you because not every single option is going to be a good choice. The 9 of Cups can sometimes be someone who's got issues with alcoholism. They drink too much. And then here you are back in a toxic situation, another complicated relationship, someone who has the capability of hurting you all over again, somebody who needs to do their shadow work who fails to do it. So just be mindful that you don't get yourself back into those old cycles. You don't want to be putting up with people who are going to lie to you, keep secrets, be deceptive. You've got the moon right here, which can be an illusion. It could be someone who is not trustworthy. There could be third-party situation, involvements there, affairs, infidelity. So just be mindful of that. Or for some of my feminines, perhaps that's what you're afraid of because other people have hurt you in that way. And if that is the case, then do that shadow work so that you won't be in that type of mentality. Because this is where you're headed. The Six of Wands is about victory and success in your love life and in every aspect of your life. Empower yourself, Divine Feminine. And you'll be able to stand on your own 2 feet. You can make your own dreams come true. But you can also attract somebody who can be that dream come true for you. Okay? So let's go ahead and grab some additional messages here. I'm going to pull from this deck by Mystic Moon, the Twin Flame Angel Numbers. So let's take a look and see what the messages are for Capricorn, for the Divine Feminine. But yeah, hurt people, you know. We have 777. Honor your shadow self and let it reveal any hidden mysteries to you. A completion is near. There we go. If the work is not done, the shadows will remain. And in order for those shadows to go away, as the card says, you got to honor that part of you that has to heal from it. (711). Progress is being made in your connection, despite what you are seeing in the 3D world. So for some of you guys, there is healing going on here beneath the surface. It might not be as apparent to you in the 3D world, but maybe there's something that's just around the corner when it comes to a particular person, your masculine that you're focused on. Or you could be a masculine watching for a Divine Feminine. There's progress for some of you. And for others, the progress is that you're doing things on your own, making progress in your own life. This is interesting, tied into financial freedom. 1616, your angels are guiding and assisting you towards your financial freedom. So if the Divine Feminine is running into some financial struggles, that's a short-lived type temporary situation. 2211. Visions in your third eye are coming in the form of telepathic waves from your twin flame. So some of you guys do know that you are on a twin flame journey. And if there's telepathic communication that's going on here, then that's further indication that you guys are not together. And part of that third eye intuitive knowing is that maybe your person, your masculine, could be finally working on themselves. Because as long as they're capable of hurting other people, they're capable of hurting themselves still. And that's just a never-ending cycle that needs to stop. And lastly, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. A forward momentum is beginning to take shape in this connection. Fantastic. So that's good. That means that there's progress, there's movement. You guys can finally move forward. That's good. And sometimes in order for things to move forward, you got to do your own thing in the meantime and be away from this person for them to figure out their own journey. And if you guys are meant to find each other again, life will find a way. Life will find a way. If it's truly meant to be. Okay, so let's wrap it up here for the Divine Feminine with one final message from the Universal Heart Oracle deck. This is by Angelic Revelation 144. Angels and Spirit Guides, please, for Capricorn, Divine Feminine. What's the advice here? Wrapping things up here. So if both readings made sense for you, then I do hope it helps you out. Or just take bits and parts of it that made sense for you. But definitely healing that's needed here. Whoops, I've got this card going nuts over here. You have attracted wonderful news. A life-changing opportunity will soon be presented to you. This change will continue to push you outside of your comfort zone, but will also provide you with long-term stability and incredible growth. You will be getting in touch with the desires of your own soul, leading to satisfaction within all areas of your life. Blessings of abundance and true unconditional love. Be open to receive what we are sending to you now. I love this for the Divine Feminine. So not only are you receiving blessings of abundance in love, but it appears that you're receiving that also in regard to your financial matters and other areas of your life that need it. So this is what's coming through on behalf of the Divine Feminine. So I do hope whatever part of these two readings together made sense for you, that it helps you out. And if you're interested in your own reading, that info is down below in the description box. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.